Welcome to the part 2 of this beautiful story, When Love Becomes a Trap. The days rolled into weeks and the weeks into months. Amaka tried to hold on to the fragments of her love with Emeka, patching every crack with patience and sacrifice. But inside, she was restless. 3 years had passed since they started dating. 3 years of shared rent, shared meals, and shared secrets. Yet, there was something they hadn't shared: a future. Amaka's friends from school were marrying one after the other. Pictures of white gowns, diamond rings, and smiling grooms filled her social media feeds. Her mother's subtle questions didn't help either. Amaka, when will you bring Emeka to officially see us? Amaka, you're not getting younger. Don't waste your time. At night, Amaka will lay beside Emeka, staring at the ceiling while he snored peacefully. She thought of the money she had poured into him, the rent, the car repairs, the countless urgent needs. She thought of the sacrifices, the long nights she worked late so he could focus on building his career. Her heart whispered one truth: if this man don't marry me, all will be wasted. One Sunday afternoon, Amaka prepared a special meal. She cooked Emeka's favorite, ofe onugbu, with pounded yam, and even bought chilled moths for him. She dressed in a flowing red gown, her makeup light but elegant. Emeka returned from football with his friends, sweating and tired. The aroma of the soup greeted him. "Wow, babe, you are the best," he said, kissing her cheek before rushing to the bathroom. They ate together. Laughter filled the air. For a brief moment, Amaka felt like the old days were back. After the meal, she cleared her throat, her hands trembling slightly. "Emeka, there is something I've been meaning to ask you." He leaned back in his chair, patting his stomach. "This soup deserves a national award." "What is it, my love?" Amaka took a deep breath. "Emeka, we have been together for 3 years now. We live together. We share everything. Don't you think it's time we make it official?" Emeka blinked. "Official?" "Yes, marriage." Her voice shook, but she pressed on. "Emeka, I love you. You know that. And I know you love me too. So why don't we get married? Why?" The words hung in the air like smoke. Emeka's smile faded. He stretched his hand, suddenly restless. "Amaka, marriage is not something you rush into. You know I'm still working on stabilizing myself financially." Amaka's heart sank. "But Emeka, I have been supporting you. We are already living together like husband and wife. What's different will he make to formalize it? He sighed. You don't understand. A man has to feel ready. If I marry now without being fully stabilized, people will laugh at me. They will say I married because of you. Because you are the one with money. Amaka's eyes watered. Emeka, people already talk. They say I'm wasting my time on you. But I don't care. I just want you. Emeka stood up, pacing the room. Amaka, stop listening to gossips. Trust me, marriage will come when the time is right. But deep inside, Amaka felt the excuses piling up. 2 weeks later, after endless sleepless nights, Amaka made up her mind. If Emeka wouldn't propose, she would. That Friday evening, she decorated their sitting room with candles and roses. She ordered food from his favorite restaurant and even bought a small cake with the words "Forever Us." When Emeka walked in, he was stunned. Babe, what's going on here? Amaka's hand shook as she held out a small box containing a ring. She knelt before him, tears brimming in her eyes. Emeka, I don't care about traditions. I don't care what people say. All I know is that I love you. Will you marry me? The room went silent. Emeka stared at her, his jaw tightening. After a long pause, he pulled her up gently. Amaka, why would you put me in this position? Her voice cracked. Because I'm tired of waiting. I want us to build a future together. Please. Emeka walked to the window, his hands behind his back. After what felt like eternity, he turned to her. Fine, I will marry you, he said slowly. Amaka gasped, her heart leaping already. But his voice sharpened. It has to be on my terms. Her smile filtered. What terms? I don't want children. Amaka froze. What? You heard me, Emeka said firmly. If I'm going to marry you, you will live as husband and wife, but no children. Ever. Amaka's lips trembled. But Emeka, why? Children are part of marriage. They are blessings. Emeka shook his head. Not for me. Children are burden. They tie you down. They drain your resources. They distract you from enjoying life. If you truly love me, you will accept me this way. Amaka staggered back. Her words pinned. Marriage had always been her dream, but so her motherhood. Tears spilled down her cheek. Emeka, do you mean if I want to marry you, I must give up my dream of having children? Yes, his tone was cold. It's either me or children. We can't have both. That night, Amaka lay awake, staring at the ceiling, while Emeka snored beside her. Her chest ached from confusion. She had prayed for this day, the day Emeka would agree to marriage. But instead of joy, she felt trapped by his condition. Her mind replayed Ngozi's words. Love without respect is slavery. But then she looked at Emeka, his peaceful face resting on the pillow. Despite everything, her heart still beat for him. And in her silence, she knew once again she was walking deeper into the trap. The city of Enugu hum with life as wedding season blossomed. Almost every weekend, bridal convoy filled the roads with ribbons fluttering and horns blaring. It was in this atmosphere that Amaka, against the storm in her heart, announced to herself, I will marry Emeka, even if it kills me. She knew his conditions: no children, hung like a chain around her neck, but she pushed the thought aside, convincing herself that love and marriage with Emeka was worth any sacrifice. One Saturday, Amaka gathered her close cycle of friends, Ngozi, Ifoma, and Chidima, at her apartment. She served them fried rice and chicken, her smile unusually bright. My sisters, she began, I have good news. Emeka has finally agreed to marry me. The room fell silent. Fox clings against plates as the women exchanged uneasy glances. Ngozi was the first to speak. Amaka, are you sure about this? Did he propose to you or you did? Amaka cut her off, forcing a laugh. Ngozi, must you always spoil good news? What's matter is that Emeka and I are finally moving forward. Ifoma cleared her throat. That's wonderful, Amaka. But tell us, what about children? Amaka's smile flattered. She looked away. He doesn't want children. Chidima gaps. Doesn't want children? As in how? Amaka, are you listening to yourself? Marriage without children is like soup without salt. Are you ready to live with that? Ngozi slammed her palm on the table. I've said it before, and I will say it again. This man is using you. He's setting conditions because he knows you will bend to them. Amaka, please, don't walk into this trap. Amaka's eyes filled with tears. Why can't you people just be happy for me? Is it my fault? I found love differently. Emeka's love me, and that's enough. The room sank into heavy silence. Her friends exchanged worried looks, but Amaka's mind was already made up. As wedding talks began, Emeka's true color grew bolder. He strutted around the apartment like a king, giving instructions about what kind of wedding he wanted. I don't want anything small, he told Amaka one evening. It has to be big. People must know that I am a man of status. Amaka blinked. But, Emeka, you know I don't like loud weddings. We could save money and save money. He scoffed. On my wedding, never. If you can't afford it, say so, but don't embarrass me. Amaka swallowed her protest, quietly noting that she would be footing most of the bills. Later that week, he dropped another bomb. By the way, your family must not pressure me with all those bride price demands. Tell them to keep it simple. I'm not paying for tradition's sake. Amaka hesitated, but Emeka, bride price is custom. Then talk to them. Emeka snapped. You know I don't like stress. Amaka nodded silently, her heart heavy. When Amaka told her mother about the marriage plans, Mama was overjoyed at first. Finally, my daughter, at last, you will wear a wedding gown, she exclaimed. But her joy dimmed when Amaka mentioned Emeka refusal to have children. Mama stared at her in shock. Amaka, did I hear you well? No children? How can a woman marry a man who says such a thing? What legacy will you two leave behind? Mama, love is more important, Amaka whispered, though her own voice trembled. Love? Mama hissed. Love without children fades. My daughter, I did not raise you for this kind of suffering. Amaka's father, who had listened quietly, spoke at last. Amaka, you are old enough to choose your path. But remember, when you choose wrongly, it is you who will carry the load. Amaka nodded, tears burning her eyes. She wanted to scream, to beg them to understand. But how could they, when even she barely understood herself? One evening, Ngozi barged into Amaka's apartment unannounced. Emeka wasn't at home. She sat Amaka down and spoke with fire in her eyes. Amaka, look at you. You have lost weight. You are always crying at night. I can hear it in your voice. And yet, you are pushing for this wedding. Why? Amaka bit her lip, her eyes darting away. Ngozi grabbed her hands. Don't you see? Emeka doesn't love you. He loves what you provide. He knows you are desperate for marriage, so he's tightening the knots. Amaka, please, before it's too late, walk away. Tears rolled down Amaka's cheek. Ngozi, you think I don't see? You think I don't know? But I have invested too much. If I leave now, what will people say? They will laugh at me. They will call me a fool. Ngozi pulled her into a hug. Better to be called a fool now than to live as one forever. Amaka cried in her arms. But when Emeka returned, she quickly wiped her tears and forced a smile. The trap has sunk too deep. Despite all the warning, Amaka moved ahead. The engagement ceremony was scheduled in her hometown. Guests gathered, music played, and palm wine flowed. Emeka arrived late, wearing a designer outfit that Amaka had bought for him. He strutted in like a celebrity, basking in the attention. As the traditional rite began, murmurs spread among the elder. The bride price he presented was shockingly small. Some uncles frowned, whispering among themselves. Amaka's father shook his head but said nothing. He had already warned her. Amaka radiated in her attire, forcing a smile as she stood by Emeka's side. But deep inside, her heart whispered a chilling question. Are these wedding bells or warning bells? The drums beat louder, but Amaka's spirit felt quieter than ever. The sun blazed brightly over Enugu on the morning of Amaka and Emeka's wedding. From afar, the decorated church shimmered with white ribbon and fresh flowers. Cars lined the streets, and guests bustled about in colorful attire. For Amaka, this was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. She sat in the dressing room, clad in a glittery white gown. Her bridesmaids adjusted her veil and dabbled at her makeup, but her smile felt forced. Behind the shimmer of her eyes lay a storm. She remembered Ngozi's words from just 2 nights before. Amaka, don't walk down that aisle. If you do, you are walking into a chain. But Amaka had silenced her with tears. It's too late. Ngozi, everything is set. People are expecting me. Now, at the church bell tolled, Amaka whispered to herself, this is my fate. I must live with it. The church was full. Guests whispered in admiration of Amaka's beauty. Some shook their heads, whispering about Emeka's arrogance, about how he strutted into the building as though he were a prince. See him, one elderly woman murmured to another. If not for Amaka's money, would this wedding even hold? The second woman sighed. Marriage built on such foundation never lasts. Let us just watch. But to the cameras, everything looked perfect. When the priest declared them husbands and wife, Amaka forced a wide smile as Emeka pulled her into a kiss. Guests clapped, music filled the hall, and yet, deep in her heart, Amaka felt a strange emptiness. The reception was grand. A live band played. Dancers trailed the crowd, and food was in abundance, all paid for by Amaka. Emeka moved from one table to another, showing off, raising glasses, taking pictures with people who barely knew. At one point, he leaned over to a group of his friends and boasted, "Na so life suppose be now. When you marry, you must marry class. See as my wife dey shine," slapping his back. But one friend whispered, "Na she dey shine or na her pocket dey shine?" Emeka pretended not to hear. Meanwhile, Amaka sat quietly at the high table. Her smile tight, her joy felt borrowed, like a dress that didn't quite fit. Among the guests sat Ngozi, dressed in wine-colored lace. She clapped when the band played, smiled when others smiled, but her heart was breaking. As she watched Amaka dance with Emeka, her eyes filled with tears. She whispered a silent prayer. Lord, if this is truly her path, protect her. But if it is a trap, show her the way out before it destroys her completely. After the guests had eaten and the band had packed up, the couple retired to their honeymoon, suited in a hotel Amaka had paid for. Amaka, exhausted but hopeful, sat on the bed and removed her jewelry. Emeka, we did it. We are finally married. Emeka grinned, pouring himself a glass of wine. Yes, we did. She looked at him tenderly. I know things haven't been easy, but I believe now we can build something beautiful together. Emeka took a sip, then turned to her with a smirk. Remember what I told you, Amaka, no children. Don't start bringing up that discussion again. Amaka froze. Emeka, today is our wedding night. Can we not talk about that now? His eyes hardened. I'm reminding you, so there is no mistake. Marriage or no marriage, I stand by what I said. Amaka's hand trembled. Her dream night had turned into a chilly reminder of the price she had agreed to pay. She forced a nod, her voice barely a whisper. Okay, Emeka. The next morning, Amaka woke up to find Emeka already dressed in casual wear, phone in hand, laughing with someone on the other end. Guy, forget honeymoon jare. He chuckled. We dey ball tonight. My wife go understand. Amaka stared at him, her chest tightening. Already, he was planning a night out with his friends on their honeymoon. Emeka, she said softly, we are supposed to spend this time together. He waved dismissively. Relax, babe. We have the rest of our lives. One night with my guys won't kill us. And just like that, Amaka realized she had married a man who belonged to everyone but her. That evening, while Emeka was out, Amaka stood alone on the hotel balcony, gazing at the city lights. Her gown was packed away, the flowers from the reception already wilting. She thought of her friends' warnings, her parents' concern, and the condition Emeka had placed before her. She thought of the years she had invested, the money she had spent, and the life she had surrendered. And for the first time since she met him, Amaka whispered the truth to herself. Maybe love is not enough. But it was already too late. The ring was already on her finger, the vows already spoken, the trap already locked. The wedding had changed everything, not into joy, but into chains. What do you think will become of Amaka's life after this? See that in part 3. Hi, beautiful people of African Folktales by Ify Best. Hope you enjoy the story. Please let me know in the comment section what is your thoughts about the story, what you learned from the story, and please let me know where you are watching the story from. Please like, share, and comment. And please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I post the next part of the story. Bye.